and they...
Hey, this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
Skirt, 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 skirt. Stop, skirt, 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 start, stop. I be up in the way, I be up in the way.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange Live.
The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
Starts now.
BeExposedRadio.com. I am your host, Mr. Couser. My lisp is getting worse. I just refuse to get anything medically done to me because I think it's crazy. I'm supposed to get braces. I'm supposed to get my tonsils taken out. This nigga talk about getting your adenoids taken out. Like, it's too much.
And that's why you're falling apart.
First of all, I'm not falling apart. Far from it. People still don't believe I'm as old as I am. And I'm scruffy. It ain't on point, but I'm still pulling.
You're not going to hold it together if you don't make this man fix you up right.
I mean...
You got to retch around. Retch it off.
So this month, we're doing a lot on self-care. Last show, I talked extensively about self-care, and we came up with 12 things to look at and to practice as you begin your self-care journey. Today, I wanted to specifically deal with relationships. And it's not always about negative relationships or bad things, but I've gone through a period recently where it felt like I evacuated my contact list. And sometimes, like, I don't ever feel lonely because I'm a creative spirit. I've always done things on my own, so I never get a lonely feeling. But I've noticed that I've pushed myself away from people so much that my phone rarely calls. Like, I have my top 10 people that I talk to the most, and that's like my best friends, and that's it. People I work with.
Is that a part of a defense?
It's not necessarily a defense, but I've realized since a very young age that I'm different. And what interests me, what I feel, what I think isn't a norm, quote unquote, isn't a norm for everybody. And I don't feel like it's gotten me into trouble, but I've just taken the steps to just safeguard and put up those boundaries because I didn't know how to say no. I knew what no was. I knew it was important to say no, but I was surrounded by a lot of people who didn't respect my no and would treat me as if I'm doing something wrong or I'm being difficult or I'm being mean. And I swear it wasn't until this Monique had her big issue. And she's now like doing a bunch of interviews and she's doing her show. And I'm just listening to what she's saying. And it's one of the reasons I support her so much, not because she says what I'm thinking, but more so a lot of things that she was saying, like when you start saying no, then you are difficult. When you start demanding people to respect you, then you become pushy, or I forgot the other word that she used, but people don't respect your boundaries. It's like you could stab me and I'm supposed to sit here, keep it moving, heal, and don't say a word. And I really was surrounded by people like that. And it's hard because those are often loved ones or close friends or...
But that's kind of how you're conditioned to be. It's that turn the other cheek.
Yeah, especially as black people.
Exactly.
And then being a black man, you're not supposed to feel anything.
And that's always a misconception. There's a whole lot of broken men out here, and they subscribe to that mentality that they're not supposed to express what's going on with them. And they, even though they don't do it in a way that is healthy, they still express. You know what I mean?
But it's going to come out regardless.
Exactly.
But how it comes out is
so detrimental.
Yeah, to us and to other people. And it's so I struggle with being very transparent on this platform because everybody isn't deserving of your story. But I've said things and been transparent about certain things in my life, and it has opened up some doors of communication between me and family and friends, or just people that I work with in general. But
and you know what? Even though everyone may not be deserving of your story,
right?
It's liberating to share it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they may not necessarily be deserving of it, but you still should share it. You should just put it out there, because for me, I felt like, and I experienced the same thing, you know, but it becomes cancerous to you. It eats away at you.
Because you're not getting it out of yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. So even though they may not necessarily be deserving of it, one thing that we will get from it is they will know where you stand.
But it's not, and see the part where I'm at now, like my life lessons in my 30s has been about, it's not even about them. If they hear it, I mean, you know, good black don't crack.
That wasn't saying that. I was going to say that you were, I was going to say you were a lot more refined.
First of all. But I'm at a phase right now where it's not about other people, and I have to speak my truth regardless. And I can almost look into my far future and see I'm going to be that old man that just, did he really just say that? Like, did he just? Because I'm learning to filter it in a way where I'm not sitting in a board meeting or I'm not in my classroom or on air and I'm just blurting out whatever's on my mind. So I'm learning how to put in some lightweight filters. But I'm not going, if I feel something and you've done something or I see you doing something, I'm going to tell it to you. Like, just a small example. The other day, I have a friend who is one of those crazy type of geniuses. Like, he has like a certain type of mind, and I like him, like he's my friend for that reason.
Right.
But he's also a person that over-explains things, like gives you definitions to words that he's using, and it makes you feel like, you think I'm dumb? And I've thought that for a number of years now. But the other day I actually said it, and his response was like, don't be mad at me. I'm not even mad at you. I just wanted to say it to you so you can stop it. So you're aware of it. And often with certain people, that is the answer. Some people just don't care how you feel or what you have to say or what your perspective is or understanding what they're doing is harmful to you, specifically you. And they don't care, but some people just are not aware of it. And often we show up as our representative. And I've often been the person that you be like, people get to know me like, man, I wish I would have got to know you sooner. Like, you got this wrong love with you. You just don't seem open or whatever I did.
I think that's a part of your social health, and I think a lot of times that's something that is neglected.
Well, for me, it wasn't something that was purposely. I was just the only boy and the oldest child growing up. So it was necessity. Like, I couldn't play with the girls. Like, you're not supposed to play with the girls. But see, that
right there in itself is wrong. Because you can play with the girls. And it doesn't mean that you're going to...
Well, no, for me, it was just my age. Like, I have a couple cousins my age, but I wouldn't play. And the rest of them, when I was like 15, they was like 5 and 6. So that's not, like, that's...
But even still, it's like getting you involved in things that would allow you to socialize with the right age group so that you can develop that part of yourself.
Well, when I say it's me because I had all those options. My mother raised me a professional child. I was really young. I was always in after school program, always in like things that kept me active with wouldn't say anxiety. It was just I have an ability to see people for who they are, not who they say they are. So if I see a certain thing in you, like my friend Kyle probably was making sure, but it was certain things about my friend Kyle where he wasn't his life. I didn't want that in my life because I had already came across those people, so I didn't really want to. I didn't want to. I didn't really want to. So by the time I got to college, this became a thing. I didn't want to damage so I would keep certain people at bay, or you were a professional friend to me, or we were never really. I was really cautious about who became my friend.
And so that happened to you in your early childhood that you had felt the need to be guarded, or that was that a family?
It was just always being a quiet child and watching people. So I got to learn who people were.
But the reason why when you said you got to learn who people were,
Mm-hmm.
even they themselves weren't, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said earlier, people sitting there representing you.
Right.
So who you see isn't always with you.
Well, when I say that, I say as a young, especially up until probably like 15 or 16 when I started working, like really working. Up until that point, I would just sit and watch people. So you know how when somebody don't. Well, no, because you never really knew I was there. But it was more so I just saw people for who they really were versus who they said they were. Because I would see people do things when they didn't think people were watching. And that carried on into my adult life. So I watch people from afar before I approach or before I even let people approach me. And that has shown me a lot, but it's kept me guarded. I don't feel like I have an anxiety or I have anything that's like wrong with me, but it's more so I see people for who they are. And it's a scary thing.
I mean, when I say about anxiety, I'm thinking about your interactions, because you still have to interact with people.
Right.
So the fact is, even though you may see them for these things, what prevents you from interacting with them?
Because I see those things.
Right. So
I see people who.
You may see him as a liar. You may see him as a thief. But that
Right.
still, you can at that moment in time when you see that, you can address it. You can say.
Well, see, and that was the part that the confrontation, because most people, if I walk up to you like, I think you were a thief, you're like, bitch, I ain't no motherfucking thief. Like, you become defensive, and I didn't know how to tactfully address things that I saw in people. One, because it wasn't my place to do that.
And you know what? The funny thing, you should say something. One of the first lessons that I learned in my field was that it's healthy to confront people, to hold them accountable for their actions.
Right.
And the reason why is because that to me helps with being transparent.
Well, in friendships, yes.
And it allows people to know that even though you may think that you're getting away with something, you're really not.
And even as, I would say, even as a child, I wish people would have done that to me more, because some of the things that I struggled with, they didn't have to be things I had to struggle with. If, say, parents or family members or even friends at some point, is it too loud, the mic thing? Take it below the line. Okay. But even those things that I struggled with, they didn't have to be struggled. So I always tell parents, whenever a child I see certain things in students that I have, I address the parents like, check him on these things. It may be awkward, it may feel uncomfortable, but a child will sneak into things or, do things under the radar because nobody's saying anything.
And they feel they have to.
Yeah. Right.
And they don't want to experience it,
Right.
But still, making people aware that you are aware of what's going on puts them in a position where they have to hold themselves.
Because then they see the eyes on them. And I and it's normally the other person feeling some kind of way. It's because I'll address things, and people aren't comfortable with
But
that.
it's also, even though, and we always have to be aware of how we address things, because even
Hmm.
though you may be able to, you may have tough skin, thick skin, not everyone has.
But see, that's something that as a child and as I grew up, that's something I was aware of. So I would not address things. So I would be friends with somebody who I knew, say, was talking about me, and I would let it go because it wasn't affecting me. But I see that you're doing this. Like, what do you get out of doing this? So as a adult, addressing those things can be harmful. Only, and I say harmful because if you did not address it in the beginning, it's like, well, this is who I always been. Who is this person? Like you known this about me. Why are you so affected by it?
Right.
Well, because it's affecting me now. Like it really is. And I should have said something to you in the beginning, but
But then the onus is on you because
yeah,
of the fact that that was something that you allowed to
yeah.
fester.
So that's why I don't like. I'll cut off a friendship, but there's no animosity because I know what my part in this was. I let you feel like this was something that um, was cool. It was something that you um, that I so one of the things that I had to break myself out in my 20s was I can't get mad at people for not liking who I really am because I never showed up as that person.
Right.
And it wasn't me being fake. It was really me doing like a test study with my life. Like, can I hang around these people? Or what is this part of my life? Or what is this experience? And I never really, I would ignore things that people didn't. And so people started thinking that I didn't see them doing things. So they would do it more. And I never forget, I went on a vacation. And you ever had a friend that whenever y'all go out, they'll never have. Right. And you like, bitch, why would you come? I was on vacation with a person like that. And I wasn't shocked that they did it, but we got to the airport. Went down to Florida, got on the boat. So apparently they had tickets already. We get there, they don't have no money. And I was like, why would you spend the money that you did have on getting here, but you get here and there's nothing. And I remember on that trip, that friend had to stay in the hotel room for the whole time, and just did stuff like basic stuff that was available to him. Right, going on the beach, they had to do those things, and I felt awkward. But I went snorkeling. I went on the tours. I did what I wanted to do. I went shopping, and coming back each night, we was on that trip for a whole week, literally 7 days, and then we went home on the eighth day. And I didn't feel, and it was the first time I didn't feel any kind of way, and it was hard. So I would avoid coming back to the room because I was like, what if this really like bad? Like I'm doing something bad. But I was like, no, because this person knew what they was doing, and I just got tired of always being that person. And I should have said something in the beginning.
what they are, who they are, and how
You've
they
had a
are.
couple cutoff notices
Yeah.
at that point in life.
Exactly. You've sung Whitney Houston's "Where Do Broken Hearts Go" and
Oh no.
down the whole bottle of Paul Masson to yourself while smoking, chain smoking Newport 100, sitting at a bar thinking that you were Bernadette and waiting to
Hallelujah,
exhale.
hallelujah.
That was
Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let it out.
that
You got
was
it. No, it was just enough.
self-care.
Self-care. See, you just got it out. That's what purgatory is.
That was at 25 to 30.
Right. I'm telling you, like, that's 25 to 30 felt like purgatory to me. Like, I was waiting for something to happen. But then 30 hit, and I just didn't care the same way. Like, literally, I did not care the same way. You could tell me that your house was on fire. And I'd be like, well, you called the police? Okay, well, call me in the morning, let me know how everything works out.
Oh, because by that time
Be
you'd have
like-
been through so much shit that you ain't got time for nobody else's stuff.
Like, you gonna lose your stuff. You gonna get it back. Like, you
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
And that's those
are you
stuff-
alive?
So
If you-
from that 25 to maybe, like, for me it was going 19 to 29. I went through a lot. Like, I did things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I learned some harsh lessons, and I saw some things. I got to know people. I knew there's no such thing as a functional junkie. I learned stuff like that. Just because a junkie can get up and go to work and pay their bills don't mean they functional. That means they don't want to be homeless. So they go get up and pay their bills and go to work. But
they're
just
functioning.
functioning.
Yeah,
They're
and
not
on
functional.
a higher level
Right.
than a lot of
Their
other
frequency is a little
bit. I mean, if I had to choose between which junkie I wanted to be on my side,
Right.
that's the one that I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to bank on. Don't believe everything a junkie says. And it was more so just learning how people were. So when 30 came, my relationships with people changed.
Okay.
Because I got tired of showing up as old, dependable Nate. So I started telling people, no, I don't feel like doing that. Or I wouldn't answer my phone. Fast forward to this year, I have not answered the phone for people that are really close to me, like birth close to me, and I don't feel any kind of way about it. The first couple months was hard, but after the third month, I'm not laughing at it, but I really had to learn how to detach myself from dependency. And sometimes friendships can mean dependency. So
Right.
I lean on you for this, you lean on me for this, and you have to stop. Like, I have a friend that lives in New Orleans, and we used to, like, that was the friend that you go to when you just wanted to vent about something or complain about something. And I was sitting on the phone one day, and I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, we both are going through the same thing. Well, more so that person. But I was having my issues, and we just kept talking about the same things over and over, and neither one of the problems were ever fixed. And I was like, I don't want to do this no more. So I stopped accepting phone calls. I stopped calling. I stopped accepting phone calls. And that makes people feel a certain kind of way. But I had to break myself from those types of relationships.
Because I think the reason why I would feel some kind of way because I want a rationale as to why. And I mean, I feel like sometimes you may feel like, and I know that a lot of people think, well, I don't owe you an explanation, but I think you don't. You really don't. But I think that if you are a friend and we call each other friends, I think that we should be able to have that type of communication when you can
But
say,
sometimes
this is what this is.
that sometimes individuals don't receive what I'm saying, because if I say I'm tired of us complaining, I'm tired of sitting on the phone with us complaining, and I need to get myself to a certain space. And some people don't, they take it personal. Like, I've had this recently. I haven't been talking to a certain individuals in my life, and the level of selfishness that I'm getting back, because they're accusing me of doing something to them, and not saying, well, maybe he going through something, maybe he need to get some things in order, maybe he's in this space. And I say to them, I text them, it's not about you. I am getting me together. That's not a cliche phrase I'm throwing out. I'm really getting back to who I am. Like, I don't dress the same way I normally dress. I don't groom myself. I wash my ass. I do that. I'm sorry to the young lady out there, but I wash my ass. But it's just
He does wash his ass. I can attest to that. I mean, if he didn't, you would know.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so.
But like you just getting in order with things. But some people take that personally when you taking care of you.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I felt this way about a guy that I was really close to.
Because we young, so ain't nobody in this. No, I don't know no millionaires. So I mean, not personally anyway. But so we was going, but I always kept that veil up because we had black mothers. You don't tell people your business.
Right.
If you struggling with something, you struggle with it. It
But
ain't their business.
But when you have friends, y'all go beyond that because
Right.
friendships is a lot more intimate, and you
But
do
we have
share.
to look at how we make friends now because we share interests and we've learned how to when we doing plays. So you around each other for like 2 months. Oh, we cool. We've been going out, going after practice and
But
stuff.
that's a business.
But we don't look at it that way.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the people who have gotten into my circle were those types of people that they lingered on after the show was over. And you're like, okay, so now we're gonna do another show together. But then you start learning who they really are when those things are gone. And you start saying to yourself, this person is a clinger. So it got to a point where I had people in my phone and I acknowledge the problem. Why am I still dealing with it?
Right.
And those are the types of things. So
But
it became easier for me to not cut you off, but just step away.
But that to me it makes it easier for you to just step away as opposed to
Dealing
confront.
with it, yeah.
And the healthy
Because
thing
they gonna be that person. That's who they are.
but they don't necessarily have to be that
Right.
person if you give them an opportunity and the knowledge that they need to change something. Because if they really are about friendship and they really value your friendship, then they're going to be receptive of that. Because they say this is something that is causing a strain on our relationship, our friendship, and I think you need to address it. I don't want to be the person that you call for whenever you need a find out or something because sometimes I don't have it. And you put me in a situation that makes me feel awkward. It makes and I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. But you
for
have to
me,
be able to do
I
that.
never asked for anything, but in my mind, when I am struggling, the thought that I could go to these people and ask for something, and not even about getting it, feeling comfortable is something that gives me peace of mind. But not even that I'm gonna even go and do it. Not even that I'm gonna ask you for anything. In my mind, I said,
In your mind, these is D cups, and I got some wet and wavy.
no, save me. But those types of things are when you start thinking about the healing and you start purging. My issues came when I started spending more time contemplating and thinking. Because then I started seeing all the things that I had ignored and lived through and put up with and dealt with from certain individuals. And I was like, no more. And I didn't, and my thing has always been confrontation. I don't like, thank you. I don't like necessarily going through certain things. I don't like, I don't like the denial from somebody. I don't like putting, and it's not even a fear because I'll punch you in your face if it gets to that point. But I'm just saying, I'm
so aggressive.
Right here.
It's not fucking Baltimore.
Right here, thank you. But it's the denial. It's and what I was saying earlier. The reason why I try to follow everything that Monique is talking about, not because I'm like this super fan, but I see a person that's simply hurt. It's not even what you did was so harmful, but you hurt no like guilt, no type of awareness, no type of concern, and somebody is simply hurt.
But that is because of your level of attachment to that individual. Like she probably valued their relationship more so than they valued her.
Or people, how you treat people isn't how people necessarily going to treat you.
But then that is also a situation in which that comes from emotional maturity and socialization in ourselves because we should not expect. No, I mean really, we should not expect people to treat us the same way. We should, when we treat people with 100%, we set ourselves up. If you're expecting 100% return, if you get anything in return, you should be. That should be great. You should be grateful for that because you've actually gotten something. But to say, well, you know what? Since I've given you 100%, you're going to give me 100. They may not be able to do that.
But see, and where I'm at right now, and going into my 40s, if what my I know your 100% doesn't look like mine, but I want your 100%.
But see,
and if your 100% feels like half of what mine is, I'm good with that. But I just need to know that that's your 100%.
Right.
And I just need to. That's where I'm at with.
But when you say that's your 100%, what are you basing that upon? Because if you
knowing
never,
the person.
But then you really don't know them because you don't know what their true extent is, like what their cap is. Because for you, your cap is up here. Their cap is really
I'm saying
here.
that it's not even a level. I'm just saying, where's your 100%? Okay, this is your 100%. This is where mine is. Now mine might be much bigger than yours.
But are you okay with that?
I'm okay. I just need your 100%.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
Like I know I go beyond that, but I need your 100%. And I think a lot of people have grown into these individual people, and they have no type of concern.
Well, can I be honest? I'm not truly happy with others 100%. If mine is up there,
that's another another level of therapy. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna take one more commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com. See, that's another whole level.
That was a good exchange, guys. That was really good.
He's crazy. He's trying to shrink people. whole person. I'm just saying that was a no go for me. I had a friend like that, like, and I didn't know that my friend and I say prostitute, but if that's what you do, hey, how you make your money? We like, but I had an issue with that. Like that was an issue for me that we couldn't get through a day of us chilling
because she was on a come up.
I ain't say she.
Well, he was on a come up.
Right.
Well, I mean, work is work.
It was.
And
I
feel like this. I'm not one that is. I'm not going to judge what it is that you do until it affects me.
And that's what it started affecting me.
Now, certain things like you out and you sucking dick inside Mondawmin bathroom, then that doesn't affect me.
Not Mondawmin.
That was a thing. But if
it still is, I think.
I don't know. But if that was not now, I wasn't up for it. But at the same token, if you were up for it, that's you. Now it becomes an issue when people start attributing me, and they start like, look, meet me at the bathroom.
But see,
I'm gonna come with my bucket and I'm gonna ask for some coin. So
I ain't just doing this.
I ain't doing it.
You got to pass time. You got to play time with y'all. But that was the determining factor for me because that's what started happening. So your clients started when they didn't see you. It was like, so what you doing? About to punch in your fucking face if you solicit me. You try to solicit me.
Well, they might not have been soliciting. They might have genuinely liked you.
No.
You ain't take no coin.
You ain't
learned nothing from Cherry Hill. No.
I thought I didn't live there. I was born there. But so your point in the last segment where you say
that
accepting what their 100% is, that seems to be the biggest hurdle because that is attached to hurt. Because once I realized you're not giving me what I'm giving you, that hurts a little bit. That's this little sting. But once that's why people can be together that's quote unquote not equally yoked. Because I accept what your 100 is and you accept what mine is, and everything ain't always perfect or even Steven.
Right. And I think that in that situation, you recognize them putting forth an effort.
Right.
So they're 100. You can see that they're actually working towards trying to meet you, even though they may not be able to do it. I have a problem with someone deliberately not putting forth the effort because they know that you're going to do the most for them. They know that you're coming with the 1,000%. And so they deliberately say, I'm going to say this is my 100% because I want them to do it for me. And that's where I have a problem. That's when it becomes your 100% isn't good enough for me.
Because it's really my 100%. Because now I'm putting forth the effort for both of us.
Absolutely.
And so the second point that you have made where you said, okay, now I accept where your 100% is, where your level is, but you're not growing in your giving. Mm-hmm. Your capacity isn't growing. Mm-hmm. And it's not about giving me something, but it's about if this is a shared experience, that's why I can't deal with somebody where I feel like I'm paying for them. Like I can't, and that's based on experience. And I can't.
I'm okay with doing it once in a while. I'm okay with doing it because I feel like in relationships, it's about give and take, and sometimes.
But you just said it. It's give and take. Mm-hmm. But if it's all giving on this side and all taking on, I can't.
That's a problem, and that's a major problem. That's you pouring out, and no one's pouring in. And the thing about it is that when you realize that you poured out and you have nothing to give, then you messed up on you the one that's fucked up.
And the way people are going now is like they see your cup emptying out, and they look, oh, you empty now. See you,
and
they
I'm
going
gone.
about their business,
right? And then what happens is that when you found someone to pour or something to pour into you, they come back around and say, hey, I'm here. I see you doing good. You want to go hang out? Yeah. And that's what I call a vampire.
So just to close out the show, we're doing this month on self-care. We dealt with relationships. Monday we dealt with just self-care in general. 12 things to do to like to start that journey if you're in that process of building your self-care strategy. Today was more so on relationships, and it feels negative, but you have to really go through this, and often you have to go through each friend and kind of critique that relationship on both ends. Because I haven't always been. I'm a person that I'm not good at making special events
And
because
I'm not.
I'm a working entrepreneur.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with one of my closest friends, and believe it or not, I had the biggest crush on him in middle school.
I told you it's not working no
and
more.
I
Like, we not
and
ever
and
gonna do
I still think he's like the best thing since sliced bread. But he
that's sweet,
he
isn't it?
he yeah, and I am such a poor damn friend because I don't call. But I've never been that type of person. I've never been. And
But see, that's where
the
your
reason
100% is.
that's and no, the reason why is because I tend to for my friends I'm very clingy, and I demand a lot of attention, and I'm a cuddly, warmsy, fuzzy person, and I feel like with certain people that would become annoying, and so I don't call because I don't want to be annoying.
But
And
have
my
you
conversation
communicated
is,
that?
huh?
Have you communicated that?
I just did on your television, on your radio show.
Can we get a name?
Well, no, you will not get a fucking name. They know who they is because they're my chocolate kiss. Mwah!
Ooh.
No, that's not. That. Don't. Y'all just always starting shit in Baltimore. That's why I'm moving to Texas.
Well, if you did that to begin with.
they make things big in Texas.
You did that to begin with. But so in just closing out today, check in on yourself. Check in on your strong friend. Check on your weak friend. Just check in on people and start with yourself because we have to create that balance in our life, and nothing's ever perfect. We aren't perfect, but we have to really like. I'm tired of losing friends for the same reason. Uh, that's why I took myself out of the equation just to see what is the issue.
Well, are they friends with each other?
Some of them are.
Okay.
Some of them are friends with each other, but for the most part, they the same people.
Mm.
And I can't put the blame all on them because I know the points that I've kind of messed up on. But my mess ups are normally, because I work a lot and I try to be there for situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll come and help you set up, or I'll help you come clean up. I may not can make time for the party, but that's where my 100% is.
Right.
But a lot of people want all of you and not willing to give you any of them.
Absolutely.
But we're going to we're closing out, and I really respect you for coming on. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for purging today.
Thank you for purging.
We're gonna find that chocolate drop, and we're gonna make it happen. So this has been I'm closing out my show. This has been our Big Radio Show, only on Big Exposed Radio. Next coming up, the Cocktail Social.
The happy 2 hours.
2 hours.
Not just an hour. You
Well,
get more bang for your buck.
So we'll be right back on Monday, same time, Mondays and Fridays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. only on BigExposedRadio.com.